If you don't know, now you know. Welcome to Shots Fired, hosted by your man Vince Chang, aka The Energy. And baby, today we got a good one. I'm telling you. Talent overload, ready to highlight this crazy dude that's played in the Harlem Globetrotters, came back from a crazy injury, now he's called Bionic. That's Tory Brooks. And then we're going to talk about what happened with FIBA, because a lot of people are taking home championships, winning series, and also it's been a crazy time since after the World Cup. We're going to have an amazing guest. I can't wait. She is number one. And when I say there can only one, she is Highlander. She is the queen. She is the unspoken one. But now she is the one. Michelle Plouffe is in the building. FIBA 3x3 number one player. Also, eFIBA season 2. We're back at it again. Last year was crazy. 30 teams was competing just for bragging rights. But this year, 60 from around the world are playing for 50,000 euros. Cash money. That's what I want to see. And we're going to recap on everything when it came to FIBA basketball. And we're going to stop the show with the FIBA rankings, because there's some teams, I gotta give credit, they've been rising, they've been climbing, and they not giving up, and now they thriving. So what's going on, everybody? My people on Twitch, was good? Let me know where you're watching from. There on TikTok, we are back at it again. How you doing, Quacky? Good to see you again. And also my people on YouTube, I'm pretty sure Muscati Elite is in there, and we got some more people, because we want to talk about basketball. But again, this is Shots Fired, powered by FIBA, also sponsored by Jelly Smack, in which we try to get all the hottest basketball when it comes to FIBA or anything international and on home front, because I'm in America, and we're bringing here in just, 3 places, not just one place. All right. Anyway, this is everybody saying what's up. Thank you so much, my people on TikTok. Shukran. Thank you so much. Let me see them hearts. Let me see where you're watching from. You will get a shout out. What's up, Demets? I see you, bruh. I see you. Jorge, thank you so much for the gift. Gotta get it. And I'm also dropping to Canada. I do love my maple syrup. I do love my poutine, and I do love going to Montreal, Edmonton, Alberta, and also Toronto, because I'm a Raptors fan. All right, Australia. Good day, mate. All right, then. Good to see you there. All right, there we go. Okay, I think we get the show going on. And if you missed the show, you can go back to YouTube, in which we'll upload the entire show so you can replay it. So, without further ado, you know how we start the show. We're going to talent overload, and this man is a problem. So, talent overload here on Shots Fired. Let's go. All right, if you don't know, now you know. We always try to find somebody that's been influential when it comes to basketball. And we have highlighted so many people from around the globe. And this one is no different. Bring it up right there, my man Sasha. This guy right here, if you don't know, his name is Tory Brooks, aka Bionic. Now, he's a social media influencer who's created basketball content for a living now, with dreams of playing in the NBA, dreams of playing overseas, but some things kind of went sideways, but he never gave up. Has over 100,000 followers on Instagram and 40,000 followers on TikTok. Now, nicknamed Bionic because of this. He had a knee injury in college, recovered, got the nickname, and then got a year playing with the Harlem Globetrotters, but then had to stop due to heart complications. This man doesn't give up. All right, his soul is so pure and his game is real. I mean, this dude was born June 14, 1992. I mean, he's from America. You know, that's what I'm talking about. He's from here. And this dude has broken records. He went to Davenport University, has 3 national championships, not in basketball, though, in high jump. So he used his jumping talent and is now making a difference in basketball, which I'm seeing a lot of transition comes out. A lot of track stars are now taking their athletic ability and bringing it on the court. And you know what? They kind of nice. They actually doing their thing. He's the founder of Bionic and Beyond an Athlete, and his lifestyle entertainment, is just crazy. And he knows how to market himself with Beyond an Athlete. Is an organization that focuses on empowering student athletes. And he's best known to be on MTV. And again, like I said, Harlem Globetrotters, and also track and field for USA. All right. Now, he was associated with a lot of other brands like Nike, NBA, Jordan, Adidas, Puma, Glenor, True Religion, Silver, and he's all over. And the thing about it is that he really does his best to give back to the community. I mean, the one thing that he loves to do is play ball, but then also sends a message that there's more to basketball after you're done playing. But also tries to preach that you don't have to give up on the game. I mean, this dude has played in the Drew League, one of the #1 top leagues ever, and has dominated. He's a versatile player also. As you can see with this video here, his defense is bar none, and he got bungees. And that's what I love seeing about him. That's what I love it. Now, he started his career back in 2011 when he basically was at Dick's Sporting Goods, and he worked over a year there and became a sales associate, right, at Finish Line. And, did a little sports retail, but then he rolled in Davenport University, as I said, where he excelled in track. And then from there was like, I could do more. He became a youth development specialist for the Grand Rapids Urban League, where he worked there for, again, a year, then became an assistant personal trainer director at LA Fitness, leading with health and fitness clubs, which is dope. And then he became a fitness director at the Gold's Gym in 2018, serving a year, and this guy just kept rising to the top. I mean, the one thing about this guy is that he just keeps fitness in his back pocket, but then also knows how to dominate on the court as well. Now, back when I said he was on the Harlem Globetrotters, he was at the leading crazy basketball club, as we all know, because this thing is just entertaining. But as I said, he had to take a step back. But after that heart complication, he also found his way overseas and played it to, a couple of Euro leagues, playing in Canada, the NBL, the CBA, the Chang. So this guy's been all over. You need to look him up, because the one thing I do know is that when you listen to him and follow his message, it is inspiring. And he gets, this guy straight up looks like the Terminator, but he's just soft like a teddy bear. Real cool. But shout out to my man, Tory Bionic Brooks. Keep doing what you have to do. Follow him all on social media. And also, got to go to his brand, Beyond an Athlete. All right. Shout out to you. That's that talent overload. Woo, let's see everybody else going on. I see my TikTok people here. I got my people there on YouTube, and Australia is still in the house on TikTok. All right, dope. Now, next, we already know we're going to talk about. This is breaking news, and there's a lot of breaking news going on. And I can't wait to share with you. Anyway, this is breaking news here on Shots Fired. Let's go. Also, want to shout out to Tory Brooks. He also played FIBA 3x3. I'm just saying, I got to get that shout out. I mean, he was dope in Mexico, playing on the USA basketball team. Just saying that. But anyway, this is breaking news, but this is something that's even more exciting, because FIBA is all over the world. It is the International Basketball Association. And there's certain games I would love to go to. Like, there's that French game that takes all the African countries and they come through. I always want to go to like the Spain clubs. But this one right here was dope. Play the real, because the Serbian basketball club Partizan put on a show for the fans during a friendly match against the Spanish team Fuenlabrada. There were fireworks, flares, and it was just insane of the level of fanfare. When you say I'm the energy, yeah, this is the energy. Partizan is in Belgrade, Serbia, and they know how to party, and 7,000 hoop heads descended to Tazmajan. And the sports complex is also a swimming pool that converted into a court, and the atmosphere was unbelievable. I mean, former NBA player PJ Joseph admitted that he found it nothing short but amazing. He quoted, "I can see why Partizan fans have a title of being the best in the league or in the world, because I'm definitely blessed to have the opportunity to play in front of them, and I took advantage of that." I mean, Doja even confessed it was just like an awesome struck situation by the crowd. Like, you know, you're starstruck? That's awesome struck. I mean, he caught himself watching the crowd instead of actually paying attention on the action of the court, which, as you can see, it's insane. Now, he got high praise from a player who happened to be a multi-millionaire and also multi-NBA playoff winner. But what? Then this guy is really saying something to saying that I know what it's like to be in a forum in Madison Garden, but this court right here was basically almost bar none. Now, what makes this matchup between Partizan and Fuenlabrada so hot and heated? Well, there's more to that case and fans showing love for the game, all right? Partizan Belgrade and Fuenlabrada actually have a special history, and it dates all the way back to 1992. Back then, Partizan played in all their home games, and Fuenlabrada Madrid, due to the Serbian Civil War. Despite the turmoil in their home country, despite playing their games on foreign soil, Partizan defied the odds and won the European Championship that year, as you can see. And many people consider it the most inspiring basketball story of all time. Now, with that history in mind, it's easy to see why fans went absolutely crazy for this matchup, right? Now, fans in Euro basketball might be the next level, but man, oh man, this was a special, special night. I mean, the one thing I loved about it is that so many people came together for a game, but then the fans even made it even better. Now, former Charlotte Hornets big man Frank Kaminsky, that's going to be right here, was another ex-NBA player who found himself in shock at the atmosphere. He quoted, "It was incredible. I had never experienced anything like it. I'm really looking forward to seeing what it'll be like in the arena." Frank Kaminsky. And in the end, before a deafening crowd, Partizan was victorious over the Spanish side, 93-63. Much like Kaminsky, most ball fans now can't wait to experience the Partizan atmosphere at the side and arena. Now, let's not forget, this was a friendly outdoor court that secretly is also a swimming pool that they converted into one of the biggest basketball parties ever. Now, I don't know if they can do the same thing in an arena because they got fire marshals, they got fire alarms, and they got sprinklers. If they let off the amount of fire from outside inside, it's going to be flooded immediately. And then now we have water polo. So, all right, cool. We got two sports in one. But yo, check that out. There's so many different international games that I just want to experience because everybody loves basketball. Again, I'm from New York. The Cage, Dykeman, the Rucker. That's one atmosphere, but to see it on like a different level in a different country, like I remember when I was watching Hustle, Boa, it was nice seeing like a street ball in a different language. You know what I mean? Like when I go to a court, I understand what people are saying, but when you're playing against somebody else and you don't understand what they're saying, but the only language that is common is basketball, it's just a different feeling. You just get lost in translation because it's like, yo, bro, I don't even understand what you're saying, but if you do this, that means cut. If you mean that, that means shoot. So that's why y'all love basketball. Shut up, my people. Thank you so much for TikTok. You guys are awesome. Oh, thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you. All right, let me know who's watching there on TikTok. I want to know who is in the chat. And I got my people heavenly watching on YouTube. All right. Now, this is, I'm already hyped. Now, this next part, I'm really excited because I get to talk to a friend. I get to talk to an OG. I get to talk to a number one. But before I keep going, this is the guest interview on Shots Fired, and you're going to love it. Stay tuned. All right, now, before I bring the Valkyrie, the queen, the number one on, this person has a whole bunch of accolades. She's played at University of Utah. She's been to the Olympics twice, not once, twice. Also, now she's been dubbed the number one player in the world for FIBA 3x3 when it comes to the women's series. This is none other than one of the Twin Towers of Canada, Michelle Plouffe. Now, before I bring it on, you got to see this hype video because this queen can ball. Check it out.
Yes, I like the shirt.
We got Canadian royalty right now here in Shots Fired. Michelle, how you feeling today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
You know, I'm the energy, baby. I never turn down. Turn down for what? I'm ready to go. And I'm so excited to have you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. This is my first time on the show.
Now, we had your other half on the show. She did an amazing job. Shot the cat. But now we got you. And as I said, I did not expect you to be on the show. When we get on later, there's going to be a whole bunch of highlights about you that I didn't know was in the docket. But thank you for saying yes. I know you traveled from what part of Asia did you come from?
We were in Mongolia. It was like a 14-hour time difference from here, so I am not doing well with the jet lag, but this is a good time for me.
Okay, thank you. Yes. All right, so beer and shots fired. There is one question I ask every single guest. It's one of the first ones, and the question is, what was your first memory that you can recall that involved basketball?
Okay. First memory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I remember being in my hometown, you couldn't play on a basketball team till you were 8 years old.
Okay.
And so I remember being not yet 8 and being like, why can't I play? Because we have an older brother who was 1 year older than us. So we saw him playing. Me and my sister have two other older siblings. So we were always in the gym, just playing with balls, mostly basketballs. And we just like made up games, and we're like passing a ball back and forth and thinking it's like the coolest thing when we got 50, and we're like, yeah. So we're slightly competitive, but it started young for me.
Oh, all right. 8 years old. And right now I want to take a second and look at this because I found this picture. Didn't know you were a model, and you look really bad ASS right here. Okay. Like you look straight like out of Compton. Like you look like you look like Save the Last Dance.
I got some street cred because of this photo. Yes.
Yeah, yo, the street cred from the photo. Like if I saw you like on the court in La Rucka or in Brooklyn, I'd be like, yo, this Caucasian girl can play. Don't mess with her. Like
the braids. I need to bring the braids.
It's the braids. It's the death stare. It looks like it's gonna be, Rock and Rumble. Like you look like Fight Night. Like it's really Fight Night. Like I'm loving it.
I take this. Friends with cameras. That's what I got. Friends with cameras.
Now, first of all, I have to do this. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Yep. I wish both you and your sister birthday because you are a twin, and I never remembered who's older out of you and Kat.
I am older.
By how many? Like seconds, minutes, hours?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. 5 minutes. I think I told Kat about this. Now she probably said one answer. Now, did you use that on her? Like I'm older than you by 5 minutes. Did you ever use that argument or no?
She says yes. I don't remember doing that.
I remember saying that. I was like, because I do that with my sister. I'm like a year older than my sister, but we're Irish twins because I'm born in 80. She's 91, so we're like within the year.
Oh,
yeah, that's why I'm December 89. She's January 91. So so it's weird. Like for a couple of like days, I'm 2 years older, but then all the rest of the year, I'm 1 year older. So I would be like, I'm older than you. Yeah, but you're like, no, I literally just came after you like 5 minutes.
Yeah. I can't really use that. I'm not gonna lie. It's not really effective.
No, I can tell. Okay, I can tell you guys still butt heads. But I will say, if Sasha bring up, you two like lifting each other up, there's another picture. You do have this great bond. And the one thing is, I did more research on you. There's more of you. It's not just you and your sister. You have a great family dynamic. Tell me what was like that in that household when it came to you being the twins, and now you have like 2 older sisters or 2 older brothers. Like, how does that work?
So we're the youngest of 5. So brother, sister, brother, and then us.
Okay. Okay, got that.
Yeah. And so we were just. It was always active. It was like everyone's doing something. Go watch your siblings play until we can come pick you up. There's just a lot of action.
A lot of action. So there's Andrea that played at, I want to say, University of Washington. And then Kat that played at Marquette, and you played at Utah. Yeah. What did your brothers do?
They played high school sports. They didn't really take it past there. But my brother, who was 1 year older, so we were in high school with him. So we watched him play basketball and volleyball. And then he got into skateboarding and that kind of stuff. And our oldest brother was played soccer more than anything. was the goalie, which is good for the tall people. So yeah, he was quite good.
Well, you're 6'2". 6'3". Sorry, 6'3". How tall are everybody else?
So oldest brother 6'10", and then Catherine she likes to say 6'4", and then our brother Daniel 6'3", 6'4", me 6'3", 6'4", and then Andrea.
Okay. Now, what's your oldest brother's name? I never got that one. Chris, gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, here's an interesting thing, because I almost got slammed by your sister, Andrea. I just want to tell you this quick story. So when we were in Montreal, I didn't know there was a third one, okay? So I'm looking at this girl that's on the sideline, like waiting for a game. So I think it's Kat, not you, because I could tell you two apart now. So I'm ready to like jump on her and give her a huge hug. You know, we're cool like that. And I really quit. And then something said, that's not Kat. Let me not say hello. And then the funniest thing, you guys played like 5 minutes later, and then Kat runs. I'm like, wait, who's it? I almost touched somebody.
That would have gone very poorly for you if you had done that.
It would have gone horrible. And then I looked at her and I said, because she had her glasses on, I said, are you a Plouffe? She was like, yeah, I'm the missing one. Yeah. So who was better out of the three? Because all y'all look different and have different styles of play.
Oh, man. I mean, she like absolutely crushed us when we were younger and she was playing. Because like she was so strong. Like in university, 6 years older than us. You can't tell. People think we're triplets when we go out together. Exactly. So I understand. But I remember we played in a tournament. It was like a summer tournament. We were playing with our club team, and she came back from university for the summer. So we were like, we would have been 15 maybe, and she was in college, and she came back with played a game because there was like an agreement. The other team had one of their sisters.
Got it.
And she like just drop stepped someone in like the first play. It was like she's on another level. Like she was the best player in the province when she was coming up. So she definitely like blazed the trail. I wouldn't have even known basketball was an avenue to go down unless I saw her do it. So
got it. Okay, so she's dominant, and you're from Alberta, right?
Yeah.
Alberta. So boom. Now are you a true Canadian? Like, do you love like you bleed maple syrup, or you're like, oh, it's okay. I just like the North.
Real maple syrup, I would take drinks of for sure. Like, I feel like if you haven't had it, if you're on Aunt Jemima, you're not on the same level as real maple syrup. Okay, it's not the same at all.
I'm from Brooklyn. That's what we grew up on. Like that's Aunt Jemima's.
Sorry, it's not even close. So I'm not all about the poutine maple syrup. You can fight me on though.
Well, I'm not gonna fight you on it because I did have the maple syrup up there, but that's what I want to ask. It's like 4 questions I want to ask, and 3 of them are about Canada. The one thing is that, what is your favorite thing about Canada?
I don't know if it's my ultimate favorite, but I just love that it's so different across the board in terms of like landscape. Like it's so beautiful when you get into places like Banff and Canmore, like when you're in the Rocky Mountains, or when you go to Vancouver and you're on the island and it's just like another land, like wild berries everywhere in the summer. I haven't been to the East Coast yet, but I've heard great things, and it's just so vast. There's a lot of space. It's not crowded.
Yeah, so, you guys got that homebody vibe. Like I taught your sister, she loves drinking tea, and I think you guys are more like reading books and relaxing, right? Why'd you do that? Why did you laugh? Why did you laugh?
I feel like there's a backstory here, but I'll ask you about it later.
I did research on everybody, okay? Okay. But
yeah, she likes tea. I had a tea last night. We're homebody. We don't like. I personally would prefer to retreat in like the nature than like go out in the city.
Okay.
That's more like. But I like a middle ground. I'm like in the city, and it's not Toronto. It's not the woods.
I gotcha. Shout out to Hoop Social. I'm giving us some gifts on TikTok. Thank you so much, Bangladesh. We're doing great. We got Michelle Plouffe, the #1 player in the world when it comes to FIBA 3x3, and we're about to get in just a second. But I do want to have one more question about Canada. Best place to get poutine in Canada, you think?
Well, you got to go to Montreal. I would say for poutine.
Okay.
I did not eat poutine growing up because I was like, we're not in the French part. I don't think it's real. I had some in Montreal though, and it was good.
It was good. Okay.
So I would save your first poutine experience for Montreal, Quebec.
Got it. And I did have my first poutine experience in Quebec. I did. And it was I'm lactose intolerant, so I had to be careful. So I was like, I'm going to have this.
Did you get it without the cheese curds, or what did you do? Or you just went for it?
So here's the thing. If I'm going to experience something, I'm going to do it. I just got to make sure I got nothing to do. So I took one bite, and I said, if I die happy. Maple. But then I did it without it, and they had like seafood poutine, they had beef poutine, they got this poutine, they got so many different. It was delicious though. I do admit it's magnifique. So Canada, you got that. Now I do want to bring this up. Sasha, put up this picture. You got an amazing squad when it comes to the Canadian team in FIBA 3x3, and you also have a fantastic history when it comes to basketball. What I want to do is this: what was the funniest moment, or who is the funniest person on your team when it comes to Canada 3x3?
Well, that's by far Casey Bosch. I mean, there's everything. We have so much fun. I'm like, dude, does everyone have this much fun? Because we just have a great time. We like, I think we're having the most fun, which I think helps everything. But it's just because, like, we're friends off the court. We don't have to fake it. It's like every time there's been like some time that we're away and then we get back together, it's like right where we left off. I don't know, like, the funniest moment. It's just there's been I don't know.
It's like I don't know because
we're just always laughing about something because things happen. Like, there's been some funny times. You put me on the spot here.
I like putting people on the spot because it makes you think a little bit. But I have met Casey, and she's one of the most animated people I've met in my life. I mean, when I got her screaming, going, ah, I'm like, yes, Casey, I love it. But she looks so innocent. But then she gets on the court, she's a complete monster, which
she's a motor.
She's not. Yeah. No. Now, who's the most serious on your team, though?
Serious. I mean, that might be Catherine or myself.
Okay. So you're sharing the serious mantle. So you're not sure who.
Yeah. I mean, Paige is she's not serious. Like, I mean, she's not serious, but I'm just thinking of who's like maybe the most business. You mean like business serious?
Like when it comes to work ethic and make sure sometimes, like, I know you guys goof around a lot and have a good time, but you got like, you snap everybody in shape, like, all right, enough, let's get this done. Like that kind of serious.
But like we're all when it's like practice or game time, we don't even have to be like, let's go. But because we know it's like we're professional. We know that like we have fun, but we're also like really trying to win. So you know what needs to be left out. But maybe me.
Okay. I've seen you scream. I've seen you go off. So I just want to know, because you have such a great dynamic. And when I see you on the court, like, everyone has their personalities. Like you and Kat have different ones. Even with, like, Paige reminds you of a cloud, because she'll float around and then you'll just see a thunderstorm about to occur, and then lightning strikes. And then she has this amazing shot, and then she just turns it on. And then when things start to calm down, it just becomes like a nice, simple, clear, sunny day.
Yeah.
And then boom, it's it. So I always loved about that. Now, what I also said is that you're a multifaceted basketball player, because not only are you doing great with FIBA 3x3, and we're going to talk about the women's series because you ladies are champions, but you went to the Olympics twice, which to me, most people don't do that once in a lifetime. And you went twice when it came to London Olympics and Rio. Can you walk me through that experience of representing your country when it comes to basketball?
Yeah. That feels like a long time ago now, but I was in college still my first year. So I was 17 or 18 when I made the Olympic team in 2012. And I didn't expect to make the team. So I had been invited out in 2011.
Okay.
They would invite some of the younger junior national team players to the camp, and they kept me for one of the overseas tournaments, not the official tournament, but an exhibition series, which I didn't expect to go because I had made plans already. You didn't cancel my plans. Like, I really didn't know. So that happened. And then the next year, like, it wasn't, I'm not going to say it wasn't a goal. I just didn't know it was my time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before 2011. Because I didn't know how good I was, really. Like, I was competing in high school. Like, the competition wasn't that great in high school. We dominated everyone. And then in university, I had like a great freshman year, started freshman of the year, all that stuff. So, like, it wasn't like I was training all the time with the national team, seeing the level.
Okay.
But like, the coaches saw something in me. Mike and Allison McNeil, very grateful to them. That gave me a chance very early on. And it was this huge learning curve because it was like, this is not university. This is like, and I'm with women who are like 10-year national team vets and who have been on the team for like 10, 15 years, who, one, have never made an Olympics in that time span because Canada hadn't qualified in like 20 years or something.
Okay.
So it was a huge summer just to be a part of that, and just to do it for those vets it was their last year, it was their last go, and we qualified on Canada Day, like last chance tournament, right? It was like 2 weeks before the Olympics, something crazy, 2-3 weeks in the last chance qualifier in Turkey. And it was just wild. It was a wild experience. So to go there, it was already a huge achievement for our team. And then for me, it was just learning curve of like, okay, you've been like the top of your team. You've led all the teams you've played on up until now. You will now ride the bench and learn from other people. Which was a huge learning curve because I was still in university and leading my university team, but that doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter because when you get into a bigger pond, you're now the little fish. You don't just get to like be at the top of the totem pole. That's not how it works. But I learned a lot. There was a lot of great vets on the team. Teresa Gabriel, Chelsea Aubrey, Kim Gaucher. Like, they were like giants, and I got to be a part of that culture early on. Which was huge because they left very soon after. And had I not experienced that, I wouldn't have known like that there's a gap sometimes of like what the culture is now and what it was, and kind of the pros and cons. So that was my first experience. We ended up losing in the quarterfinals, but we beat some huge teams. I played like 5 minutes the whole Olympics, but I went in, sung a few free throws against like USA, and best part, okay, I shouldn't say best part, but best part was, so I was walking into, so the opening ceremony. So opening ceremonies, you're just like lined up, all the countries, all the athletes waiting to go into the stadium. And we're just waiting there for like 2-3 hours because there's a lot of athletes. And so everyone's like calling their family, like, oh, talk about it. I'm like, okay, well, let me call my sister. So I like call Catherine. She doesn't answer. I'm like, so rude. Like, rude. Right now. But I knew my mom was like coming to London. My mom and my aunt was supposed to be coming to London because my mom was going to come, and she's like, oh, my sister's coming, my aunt. And I was like, okay. Anyways, so opening ceremony is happening. Our first game happens the next day or 2 days later. Anyways, so we play the game. I think we win. I don't even remember. All I remember is like after the game, someone was like, oh, our family section is like up there in the stands. So I like look up and like I see my mom. I'm like, ah. And then I see someone like pointing, like going like this, like right next to my mom, or maybe my mom was doing it. And I was like, what? And Catherine was there. Surprised me in London. I was like, I cried.
Sister strikes again. See, that's that sister connection. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. That was the best part for sure. So that was really cool. And so that was special. But then like going to Rio together was a whole other thing. So that was great.
I mean, Rio was amazing. I mean, 2012 and 2016, and both of them you guys qualified for the quarterfinals. So you weren't just spring chickens. You was great. And that actually answered the other question, because I want to know like a favorite experience that's kind of like outside basketball, and to have your sister, your twin sister, your ride or die partner surprise you is incredible. So I wish that's, and again, 5 minutes. That's 5 minutes more than anyone I know. I haven't even seen the Olympics live yet. So you got to give yourself more credit, girl. You got to get
okay.
Now you went to Utah. Now, is it the Running Utes or Utes?
Yes, the Running Utes.
Oh man, one of the top basketball programs in the country, and you said you dominated there. What was like? Because I know there was an interview that you had on Olympics.com, because when you're in university, you and your sister like really looked alike, and people confused y'all a lot. You said like, I think one of the worst things you said is like someone called you your sister at your college, or was it the other way around? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think it happened to Catherine. She called, or maybe not. It just happened. I'm like, she's not even here right now. Just random stuff.
No, I mean, because then there was a quote right there. You had an interview saying that we're always with each other, doing the same thing, but being compared often, it can be a breed of comparison in a negative way. This is what Catherine said, right? But there's also a healthy comparison in which you can level up and then get pulled by both of us and leveling up, getting better. But then you said there could be an unhealthy portion of getting compared with your sister. If you recall, like, what's the unhealthy portion now? Because you guys have excelled in the world of basketball, you have identities, but do people still confuse you now that you guys have that notoriety of being like the top players in the world?
Yeah, I think the unhealthy part was mostly due to us and like our, I guess, lack of maturity around it. Because it was, I mean, people can say whatever they want, but it comes down to what we feel. So like growing up, there's that sense of people saying whatever they want to, like, we're the twins, but then it's like, okay, I want my own identity, so I have to be better, or I have to do this. So it's like that kind of comparison that was mostly due to that internal struggle. I don't think like now there is that, just because we've matured and we have our own identities and we're very like more stable in that and emotionally stable, and that's like growing up, but also having good influences and mentors around us who, like validate our individuality and our individual strengths and that kind of thing. And so now I think it is a more positive for sure across the board in terms of like, now we're like, a rising tide raises all ships kind of thing. It's like, okay, I'm leveling up, you're leveling up, I'm leveling up, and it's like we're doing this together, especially since we're playing on the same team and we have one goal as a team, and as like the two of us is to get to the Olympics and medal at the Olympics. And so everything we do basketball wise is for that goal. And so we're just more secure and more mature. I think overall that's just helped our relationship and working through those things individually. We're in a much better place now than in like high school.
High school is definitely, you guys are fighting more. But like, so Sasha, bring up this queen's Instagram, because also there's a lot of other things that happen after college. I mean, yeah, you're playing professionally with FIBA 3x3, but then also you went overseas. You played on the Lions Asvel Feminine, over there in Europe. And then I also want to shout out that I didn't know this. You were drafted to the WNBA, second round, 19th pick. I don't know how that draft goes per se, because I watched the NBA draft, so I've seen the WNBA draft, but I never really stayed longer like that. Now I have to. How did that feel when you got your name called and you were going to the Seattle Storm?
Yeah, funny story. So, so my like teammates, friends had like, yeah, we should do like a watch party thing, because I was in Utah at the time when the draft was happening. I was like, sure. Like, I don't want to make a big deal about it, but sure. She like made fried chicken and we had some food. And I had been talking to like a couple teams beforehand, and they had said, okay, we're going to select you here. Wow. And so I was like, okay, this is happening. Cool. But the funny thing is about the WNBA draft is like they only show, or when I was in university at least, they only showed I think it was maybe like the top 10.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then they just like cut the show and they move on to something else. So I was like, what happens now?
The disrespect.
We're like watching and I'm not in the top 10. So I'm like, okay, let me just go. I don't know what's happening. And then like there's just like the ticker along the bottom of the screen because we're watching it live on TV. And then someone's like, hey, that's your name. And I was like, ah! And it was just like, if you missed it, you have to like wait till it goes around again. So it was just like, it was very anticlimactic in that sense because like my name wasn't called necessarily. It was just like going along the bottom. And then I got a call from the coach, and then my phone like blew up.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how I found that out.
That is, it's like waiting for your bag at the airport where it goes to the carousel, and then you miss it. You're like, all right, oh, my bag's here. Where? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I missed it again.
Yeah.
But you still got that chance. To me, is incredible. And now we can get to the nitty gritty because, you know, I'm a FIBA 3x3 fanatic now. I love watching the women's series. This year, breaking records, instead of 15, having over 23 stops, giving over $1 million in cash money when it comes, you know, commutative. And you've won quite a few of those stops, including Ulaanbaatar, which you have been unanimously dubbed the #1 player in the world. What I want to get into is that what gives you this fuel to keep excelling and keep being better at 3x3 and also continuing to raise your goal every single year?
Well, it's just very humbling to have that kind of control. Because obviously it's very, like, if we don't win, if we don't have a good team, I'm not there. So there's that for sure. And there's just been a lot that's gone into it. Like, all glory to God for sure, because there's multiple parts of the story that things have happened that I couldn't have foreseen, that we couldn't have planned for, that we couldn't have got through without. And then, yeah, it's just, we've always had this goal of being at the Olympics for 3x3, because it's just a totally different ball game in terms of having the part to play in that, just because it's such a tight-knit team. There's like 4 people. I mean, when you include staff, we're now at like 6 or 7 people, which is big for Canada. And we've had players come on, and that's been great. So we've really seen the development or the formation of an actual program, which is good to see, given like what we put into it at the beginning, for sure. But yeah, it's just been a vision that we've had to like be at the Olympics and win a medal. Like, and so that didn't happen in 2020. I think for the better, and we've like gotten a lot better, and we've seen that like teams that started out being like, wow, they're so good, like they were here, we were here, and we've seen them like maybe not improve, and we keep seeing our growth, which has been very encouraging, because it's like, wow, we used to be nervous about them, but now it's like they can't even hang with us, which is, you know, that goes to show like we're still working, we're still growing, we're still putting things in, because we have a goal and a vision that's much bigger than like this year or even one tournament, which I think has kept us on a growth path, is because we don't get stopped at like a loss. Like our first women's series, losing in the quarter or semi, even the World Cup, not a great start to our summer that we thought we were going to start out with a bang. We lose in the quarterfinal. Was it even the crossover? Maybe quarterfinal of France. So like that could have taken teams out if they don't got, you know, a vision that's not just one tournament. And I'm thankful that like the federation was still riding with us. They're like, no, on to the next thing, right? Canada basketball is great in that sense. So yeah, they saw our vision, Olympics. We see our vision, and I'm confident that we're gonna get there. Whatever happens before that. If we didn't win the final, we knew it wasn't the end of the world, but we're just very confident. I believe a lot in our team and what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like everything's moving forward. We don't have time to like hang out in the mistakes, missteps, and failures. It's like we don't got time for that.
Got no time for that. And it goes a perfect segue to your favorite quote, because I did look this up. And it's from John Maxwell. We cannot become what we need to be by remaining what we are. And just at that beautiful, illustration of how you are getting better, and you're seeing teams that, number one team is France, this, whatever. Be like, no, we're going to keep working and chipping away to become a better evolution of ourselves the next year. And there's no doubt in my mind that you guys are going to go to the Olympics and, make something happen. I'm not going to jinx you, but I know something's going to happen. And shout out to Ron and everybody there in Canada, because you have a great support system, which also kind of gets me to another. I want to get a little personal. Having a family of 5 kids, so much, I guess, the ride when it comes, you have a foundation of people that have your back, that share the same blood. As you're excelling more and more, do you feel your family getting closer and closer and closer, even though you all are different parts of the world because all you're traveling so much, but you guys still keep that, tight knit Plouffe, chemistry going? Or it's like, you guys are okay. It's like, you know what, we're away, we hit up when we can, but you guys like really keep that family knit going?
Yeah, definitely. And I think our family's been through a lot, just in terms of some losses and that kind of thing. And like for us, for me and my sisters, for sure, like our faith has been the bedrock of that strength for getting through those things. And they've just been always supportive. They're like now our number one fans for sure. And it doesn't necessarily bring us closer, because I think it was like the hard stuff that really brought us closer. But it's definitely like brings us together to celebrate. We're very close. So we are always in touch. Like I can't see myself living anywhere other than Edmonton right now, just because my family's here. And before I have a family of my own, like they're my family. So we're super tight. And they surprised us in our garage when we came home. Like,
oh, really?
And our parents and our sister and her family, like our brother-in-law and our niece and nephew were there with like balloons and stuff. It was so cute. I cried again. After a long day of it was the sweetest. So we just feel so blessed by the family that we have, because not everyone gets to have such a supportive group behind them, and that like love them no matter what, and are there to undergird them and also encourage them. So I'm super blessed to have that. Wouldn't be who I am without them, for sure.
And I met your niece and nephew, cute as a button. Definitely, I got to talk to your nephew. He said he loved Jamal Murray. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come famous Jamal." I'm like, "Oh, why you like Jamal Murray? All right, cool. You got some
this kid, he read all, like, because he didn't watch a lot of NBA for sure before he knew, because he got books about magazine, like he memorized like every player in the NBA, like their birthday, how tall they were, their number. He knows more about the NBA than I do, for sure. I'm like, okay.
And how old is he?
He just turned 11 at the beginning of September.
What's his name again? I never got his name.
Elijah,
you're a monster, okay? You're a machine. All right, it's funny how these kids can name every player in the NBA, but cannot name all the provinces in Canada. You can't do that. But they switch to what they like, and he has that. I can see he has that contender in him, like you and your sisters and your brothers. Because I saw him when he was playing, he was like, "No, I'm winning."
Yeah, he's competitive. Yeah,
I'm not losing.
And I'm not worried about him.
And as you said, you guys have a strong faith. I remember I got to interview you both in Montreal when we had our tournament, and your sister does motivations. You have a routine in which you pray and listen to Lecrae. It's so inspiring to have people who are confident in their faith, because I'm spiritual and religious, the same thing, but I see how it drives y'all, to another place. My question with that is that, do you have a favorite verse in the Bible that you go by that helps you, excel when sometimes you feel down, or you just go and open up and go, nope, today Leviticus, whatever Leviticus is going to say, I'm going to follow?
I mean, I read through the Bible like daily. So I just, it's like starting a book and I would read through it because I think that it all is has a purpose. But there are definitely like very inspirational verses that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of darkness, I shall fear no. You know, like there are definitely inspirational verses. But I'm also like, it's daily food, not just like cake and dessert type thing, which is part of it.
I like that analogy. I like that. Okay.
Yeah. So for me, it's daily. So I need, and I'm also growing because I don't know everything about everything. So it's like, there's lots of the Bible I do not know. So I want to know it because I have a desire to know more.
Yeah.
But there's definitely when hard times come, it was like a lot of Psalms, a lot of like, you know, like just the real stuff. Because that's when it's like, just a couple, like in the Bible, Psalms are, it's kind of like the poetry. So it's like you get the raw emotion of the psalmist, like the person who wrote the psalm, which is not always like everything's going great. It's like, I feel like I'm being persecuted. These people are coming after me. It's like, it's just raw. So those are good when it's, you have your feelings away, hard days or like times, but you still see the faithfulness of God through it all. So it's basically, I don't know if that answers your question.
No, it does answer my question because I just love people who are just confident in what they believe in and it allows them to excel because I do the same thing. And just to end it with a little cherry on top, found out today, didn't know your nickname was Plouffe. I don't think I'll ever call you Plouffe, but it was online, so I'm not like trying to like say I did like.
I guess it is my Instagram handle actually.
It is Plouffe, but I thought people choose that because, you know, all right, so I didn't know that was your actual nickname. You know, people choose like things that they say, like no one calls someone X Raider 24. Like okay, like your name's so Plouffe. And the funny thing is that if I ever met you, like, hey, Plouffe's coming, like, okay, you know, Plouffe's 6'3", right? Like, do people still call you that or no? Not at all.
That was a very university. That was my Utah nickname. I don't know if anyone. Okay, maybe like one teammate from the national team called me Plouffe, but that was because she couldn't tell the difference between me and Catherine, so she just called me Plouffe. But it was university. I was like Plouffe to my coaches, to all my teammates. Paige actually might be the only person because I played with her in university for 2 years. So she sometimes calls me Plouffe, and I'm like, Paige.
Don't say that. It's not tough. That's not hard. I'm Michelle. Okay.
We're moving on from that one.
Well,
so it's like a blast from the past type thing, but it was like people really called me Plouffe for like 4 years or more. If I called my coaches up. They would say Plouffe for sure right now. So.
Well, saving your name as Plouffe on my phone. Michelle, this has been awesome. Congratulations again, being the world's #1. You know, you're so humble, and I love how you said it took your team to get there. You know, you couldn't have done it yourself. You have such a great message on the court because I watch you play because the passion you have behind every pass, every score is real. I see the love for the game. I see the love in your faith, and I also see the love for your family. And it's just been an inspiring, you know, encounter for me just to meet you and your sister. So again, thank you so much for coming on the show. It really means a lot. I just want to give this last segment to give you a little soapbox. If you want to say anything to anybody who's watching the game, if you want to inspire them, something that's helped you become successful, you know, this is your chance to share it and, you know, be a voice to your fans.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for having me. This has been a blast. You've always been a supporter and like energy from day one when we connected in Miami, 2021. But yeah, I would just say, it's important that you stay who you are and not try to be someone else, whether it's on the court or in life. I know there's people that you see online, whatever it is, you don't have to be that person. You were created by God, I believe, to be you. And so if you try to be the most excellent you can be and not someone else, you will be far more successful in life, in your personal life, and in believing in yourself than if you try and go be someone you're not. So that's what I would say.
Love it. That's it. Bam, bam, bam. Mic drop. That's how you end an interview. Thank you so much, Michelle, for coming on. Again, I appreciate you so much. And as I always ask, it's time for you to send off. So if you just say your name, this is Shots Fired, we greatly appreciate it. So let's go.
This is Michelle Plouffe, and this is Shots Fired.
Oh, it's fired! I love you, Plouffe. No, but thank you so much for coming on. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Heal up, and we'll talk soon, all right?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, y'all. Like I said, you got the #1 in the world on the line, and she knows how to bring it. So many dimes in this interview. Please watch it again on YouTube. But again, her favorite quote is actually going to be mine for a while. We cannot become what we need to be by remaining what we are. I'd never heard that one. John Maxwell, you definitely got it. My people there on TikTok, I see everybody's loving basketball. Thank you so much, Al Dahar, for the gifts. Ahmad, I love you too. Official, thank you, all y'all. What I think about Jimmy Fredette potentially being on the 3x3 squad. He's already on the 3x3 squad. Hoop Social, you got to watch that. All right, my people there on YouTube, Uskadi Elite, thank you so much for coming through. That's it. All right, as you know, we still got 3 more segments of Shots Fired, and we got to keep this going. So next segment right here is NBA 2K, and I got some news for y'all. So right here, NBA 2K on Shots Fired. Let's go. I got my little beat coming on right now. Got Nas right here. But anyway, what I got for y'all is insane. Play it for it, baby. Let's go, Sasha. We got to get out of here. eFIBA Season 2 has been announced. My gamers and ballers. And look, that's me. That's me. Look at that. I'm there. And there we go. We got my man Chris Simpson. We got everyone there. Right here, look. Season 2 has officially been announced for the NBA 2K24 tournament, and it's all set. And it will feature players from 61 different nations from around the world. That's over double the amount representing eFIBA Season 1. Talk about leveling up. And whether it's on the court or on the console, basketball is truly a global game. The second installment of the eFIBA series will tip off on October 3rd. All right, October 3rd with the European qualifiers. And nations federations across 7 different regions will take the court in NBA 2K's 5-on-5 Pro Am mode. Now, going from North America to South America will follow on October 5th. Middle East will be in Africa on October 10th. And then 2 days after that, it's game on, playing in the Oceania and Southeast Asia. The winning nations from each region along this will be part of the top 2 teams from Europe, and then will face off in the eFIBA Season 2 World Finals. Now, the finals will actually be in person, offline event during the DreamHack Winter Gaming Festival in Sweden. Yes, your boy going to Sweden. Oh, yeah. And then on 25th and 26th of November. I cannot wait. But if you can't be there, games will be streamed on the FIBA YouTube and Twitch channels. All right. So you need not to worry what's going on. I can't wait until that. Now, with that being said, it's going to be insane. And as you see, Shots Fired, baby, all is going to be crazy. And you still have to worry about missing one single bug. All right. Now, it's more about bragging rights. And, you know, you grab it for the tournament. But it's kind of different this year because when you're crowned the world champ, you can say I'm the world champ. But how about we add some money on it? Let's add some cash money because it's a little different this year because it's pretty darn cool that they're going to be keeping to share 50,000 euros. I'm saying 50,000 euros. Even my engineer going crazy. I hear you, Sasha Buenos. It's saying $50,000. I just need one. Just give me one. Yep, and that's pretty cool. And the pool will be diving into the esports is certainly on the up and up. And this tournament is undoubtedly planned to be featured the best NBA 2K players on the planet. Now, the NBA 2K League and FIBA actually signed a multi-year partnership in June of 2023. So we're coming together, fusion, ha! And the eFIBA tournament has already essentially doubled in size since then. So who are you backing, okay? Because it's either going to be with Brazil, Morocco, Philippines, Saudi Arabia, Puerto Rico, Turkey, and also so many different ones that came on the top when the 30 teams are competing in their 6 respectable conferences. So you're going to root for them again, but with twice as many teams, it's going to make it almost impossible to predict who's going to be #1. And whatever happens, though, this can't be missed as an esports action-packed week, month, and also year. It's essentially the best of both worlds with the NBA and FIBA rolled into one. It simply doesn't get better than this when it comes to virtual basketball. And I can't wait to be a part of that. Signing my contract soon. You're going to see your boy again, baby. We're doing this, baby. We're doing this. Let's see everybody here at TikTok. I got you. Good morning. Good morning. All right, yo. We still got some more information for y'all. We're going to get out of here. We had a nice little hour show. I'm having a good time. You having a good time? I'm having a good time. Let's do this. All right. $50,000. I love Sasha. I love you. Merci beaucoup. It's like $50,000. All right, here we go. We're going to the next part. This is the FIBA story. And you know what? Let's just recap what's going on in FIBA because so much happened in the international basketball world. Right here, FIBA story and shots fired. Let's go. Now, bring it up on the screen because no, it's time. It's time to do a breakdown of the biggest FIBA news of the week. And what it is, Canada, FIBA 3x3. We just had Michelle Plouffe on here, was crowned the FIBA 3x3 Women's Series champions. And I can't believe we have Michelle on today. This is completely ironic. They didn't know they're going to do this. And straight dominance. And I'm telling you, Canada went unbeaten when it went to the final leg. Congratulations. And if there's any USA fans out there, you might want to look away right now. Because if you're still hurting from the FIBA's Men World Cup, because you know what this did to y'all, after losing the bronze medal from the North, then you're going to have more to say because Canada cruised past USA in the semifinals when it came to FIBA 3x3. Canada right now, I come upstairs, are whooping booty, setting up a rematch of last year's Women's Series final against France. And guess what? Catherine Plouffe went big time with buckets out with the system, Michelle, scoring a high of 10 points. Paige Crazone came up clutch, scoring the game-winning buzzer beater, all right, giving her nation a victory. As you see right there, that's Catherine Plouffe knocking down, baby. And then right here, this is when Paige Crazone jab steps, doing right there, boom, reverse layup right on Mazon contest, and it was gone. Final score was 15-16 Canada, all right? And guess who got it? Michelle Plouffe was awarded the MVP, baby, all right? Right there, look at that, #1 women's player in the world, and over what, $1 million in cash prizes throughout the entire series. Now, this is talking about China. Did finish in third place. Shesheni, I appreciate you. You guys are amazing. And then, like the Men's World Cup, USA finished in. But they still got fourth, okay? But yeah, now let's travel there. Over in Qatar. Now, this is a little interesting because the FIBA Under 16 Asia Championship has tipped off and the group phase is done and dusted. With last year's winner, Australia, making a trip to the quarterfinal. The Crocs are looking hungry for the title, and they still are yet to lose a game since debuting in the tournament back in 2018, and they've won all three groups so far, which I gotta admit, these Aussies can play, all right? Now, we also have some other teams that are doing well because we have China, there we go. We also have Japan that's doing their thing as well, arigato, and also New Zealand. The Kiwis are really doing well, all right? Now, New Zealand is definitely dope. Now, I want to talk about a player that I just learned about. This is Mohamed Nadal of Qatar, and he's been taking advantage of home court. 6'4", 16 years old, all players in both points per game. I mean, this guy is crazy. He's just leading, and he's doing great with rebounds per game through the group phase as well. I mean, averaging a remarkable 27 and 14. That's 27 points and 14 boards. All 4 teams will make it to the semifinals and will secure a spot in next year's FIBA Under 17 World Cup, which is congratulations to y'all. Now, so while winning this tournament is a priority to his players, there's plenty more to play for. Can anyone stop the Aussies, though? Because these guys are really doing well. Another victory for the Crocs. Here it would make it a 3 straight under 16 tournament win. And there's no doubt they're favorites in basketball. There's always room for an upset, but there's always room to make records and create a dynasty. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Hey. All right, that's what's up. Hey, what's going on? Hey, thank you so much for the follow. Hello, Bird. You got awesome. Thank you so much. My people there on TikTok, I got you. All right, now, final segment on the show. This is a sip of water. Hold on. I was parched. We are going to the worldwide court, and this is going worldwide because this is the FIBA rankings, baby. Anyway, worldwide court and shots fired. Let's go. Oh, Canada, we talk about, we're calling about, oh, say, can you see Let's get it, baby. Right here, the USA is back on top. Yup. This is weird, okay? The red, white, and blue have reclaimed the #1 spot, shout out to Ludacris, for the FIBA's World Cup rankings. Their 786.6 points are enough to push them past Spain, which Spain has been on top for a while. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, and the fact that the USA finished 4th in the 2023 FIBA World Cup, bowing out at a tough loss against Germany, and then losing 3rd place against Canada. This was hugely disappointing when it comes to the standards, but man, oh man, this is kind of interesting. This was something I didn't think. And why would not they go lower in the world rankings? Well, during the World Cup, the USA may have not lived up to their expectations, but they did manage to outperform Spain, okay, who previously holding down the top spot. USA have placed in first largely because of consistency, all right? So no medal at the World Cup, no problem. The USA won gold at the 2022 Olympic Games in Tokyo, grabbed bronze medal at the FIBA America Cup in 2022. So with that, they still reclaim that #1 spot, and they can basically still stay up there. I'm still kind of like trying to figure out how the rankings go, but this squad definitely was a decent squad. But everybody keeps saying, yo, we didn't send our best players, and that's why we lost. But yo, they were still dope. But yeah, you're right. So why didn't you? Okay, so if you want to say nothing, because somebody did a call to, I think, a king. All right, this guy right here definitely said it's time to go. So they called LeBron James, and we're telling them there was no redeem team needed, but maybe there is, because the United States are going to be back on the court, and they're still the kings of the court. Which, by the way, every curious, is MB going to play in US? I'm really curious if Joel Embiid going to play. But anyway, back to the gold medal. We got to talk about it's Germany, baby, and that's all I can say about that. In terms of making history, Germany not only have their World Cup win to celebrate, they also have moved aside to the top 3 in the world rankings for the first time ever. The one and only Dennis the Menace Schroeder and everyone else actually went the entire tournament without losing a single game. What? The German team is a problem, all right? Jumped 8 places up after that standing. Canada are still grinning ear to ear, eating that poutine after taking down their noisy neighbors. Their bronze win definitely saw them move up in spots than Germany with 9, okay? Impressive, right? They are 9th after the medals getting 1. Now, get a load of Latvia. The Baltic States have jumped in the same 22 places up on the rankings after they overcame odds and finished 5th at the World Cup. They're just jumping, and that's what I'm talking about, all right? Which is insane to me. A lot of people have been rising to the top. Now, South Sudan. Now, this is the real Cinderella story of the tournament in the FIBA World Rankings. They're so inspiring with a shocking upset win over China and the Philippines, which resulted the newest country climbing 32 places up in the standings. That's got to be a record. And that is the only thing I got to talk about it. But now, let's try to predict what changes are going to occur at the next FIBA World Rankings, okay? Can South Sudan continue their metric rise? Or perhaps more importantly, can USA hold on to their place at the very top? You can actually go to www.fiba.basketball/rankingmen to find out where your country's being ranked. There's like over 160 or 100 something there, which is insane. I didn't know about that ranking until now. So I'm definitely glad I got to see it. So anyway, what's good? Yo, Chet DC, I'm about to get off, man. You got the end of the show, baby. I'm about to go. I'm just putting my camera and stuff, having fun. All right. I love this show. It was so informational, and I gotta admit, FIBA's changing the game. Not only when it comes to international sports, also when it comes to the gaming world, also when it comes to USA recognizing, are they the best? Like, it is the next couple of years of basketball, you're not going to want to. You're going to basically get to stay on your phone. You got to stay on the TV. You got to follow FIBA as soon as possible. Follow FIBA right now on all social media content. Follow FIBA 3x3 on all social media content. That's just FIBA-LOUS. It's FIBA. That's it. But anyway, shout out to, Tory Brooks, a.k.a. Bionic, being our talent overload. Give it up to everyone who's been balling out when it comes internationally, when it comes to the World Cup. Michelle Plouffe, #1 in the world. Thank you so much, Plouffe. Got love for you. But thank you so much for coming for the interview. And also, eFIBA Season 2 is starting in 2 weeks, and your man Vince Chang will be a part of it. So excited. Gustavo, Nico, you are definitely putting work in ESL. I said, oh my God, let's freaking change the world. All right. Shout out to South Sudan, making an incredible jump in all the places that they're going to go, especially as an African country, and showing that they can really ball. And under 16, we got Basketball of the Future going. Anyway, this is your man Vince Chang. Most likely we can go back next week. So I remember I saw you have 32 shows. Find out our contract got 36 shows. We still got 6 shows left, baby. So we probably be here next week on Friday. Same time, same thing, same energy. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in here in Shots Fired, episode 30. It's been season 2, and man, we're going to keep being cool. So I'll see you guys later.